Life is a tapestry woven with relationships that bring us joy, challenge us, and ultimately shape our journey. As believers, we understand that nothing happens by chance, including the relationships we cultivate. There are times, however, when God chooses to remove certain people from our lives, a process that can be both painful and perplexing. This divine intervention, though often difficult to endure at the moment, is not without deep spiritual significance. In this discussion, we will explore the reasons and the divine wisdom behind such changes in our relational landscapes, from seasonal transitions that align with our spiritual growth to the painful yet purposeful pruning that fosters new opportunities. Each point will delve into how these divine removals are crucial for our personal and spiritual development. We will learn to trust in God's timing, embrace the hope and future orientation that He promises, and see these changes as necessary steps towards fulfilling our divine purpose. As we proceed, let us hold on to the truth that God's plans for us are for our good, to give us a future and hope. With this assurance, we can navigate the sometimes turbulent waters of relational shifts with faith and expectation for the growth and blessings that are yet to come. Number 1. Seasonal transitions. Understanding divine rearrangements. One of the profound truths that emerges in our spiritual journey is the role of seasonal transitions in our lives. When God removes people from our lives, it often signifies a shift from one season to another. This isn't just about changes in personal circumstances or relationships, but a deeper divine realignment of our life's trajectory. Just as nature cycles through seasons, each with its purpose, whether for planting, growing, or harvesting, so too does our spiritual life. People come into our lives for various reasons, some to challenge us, some to support us, and others to teach us. However, their roles in our lives are not always meant to be permanent. Their departure, though sometimes painful, is necessary. It marks the end of their role in that chapter of our story and sets the stage for the next phase of our growth. This divine clearing is not random or punitive, but rather a purposeful part of our development. It opens the door to new opportunities that align more closely with our evolving spiritual and personal needs. As we transition from one season to another, the space created by the absence of certain individuals allows for new relationships and experiences that can propel us forward in ways previously unimaginable. In this light, seasonal transitions are not merely endings but gateways to new beginnings, carefully orchestrated by God to ensure our growth and readiness for what is to come. They remind us that our journey is not static but dynamically evolving, guided by a divine hand that prepares us for what we need rather than what we might want at the moment. Thus, understanding and embracing these transitions can greatly enhance our trust in God's plan and timing for our lives, ensuring we remain open and receptive to the new paths He is paving for us. Number 2. Purpose and pain. Embracing necessary discomfort for growth. In the divine orchestration of our lives, the pain associated with the removal of certain individuals is a significant element not to be overlooked. This pain, though often sharp and unsettling, is not intended as a punishment but as a catalyst for deeper spiritual and personal evolution. When God orchestrates such changes, it is with the intention of pushing us toward our divine purpose, even when it is initially hard to see or accept. This transformative pain serves to clarify and propel us forward. It forces us to reevaluate our paths and priorities, asking us to focus more intently on what truly matters. In moments of loss and discomfort, we are given a unique opportunity to gain clarity about our purpose. This clarity comes as we begin to understand that every relationship and every interaction has a role in shaping us, but not all are meant to last forever. As these relationships recede, they leave behind lessons and insights that are integral to our growth. Moreover, This pain can act as a purifying force, stripping away the complacency and comfort that often come with familiarity. It encourages resilience and a deeper reliance on God, fostering a spirit of perseverance that is essential for carrying out our calling. By embracing this pain, rather than fearing or avoiding it, we open ourselves up to the transformative power of God's will. This acceptance allows us to move forward, not with bitterness, but with a hopeful anticipation of the good that God will bring into our lives through this change. In essence, the pain of seasonal transitions is a divine tool used to sharpen our focus and strengthen our faith, making us ready for the tasks and opportunities that lie ahead. It is a clear indication that God is actively working in our lives not to harm us but to prepare us for the fulfillment of our divine destiny. Thus, embracing this pain is embracing God's plan for our greater good. Number 3, pruning for growth. Cultivating spiritual fruitfulness. The concept of pruning in the spiritual life is profoundly illustrated when God removes people from our paths. Just as a gardener prunes a plant to remove dead or overgrown branches, enhancing the plant's overall health and productivity, so does God prune our relational environments. This divine pruning is essential for removing what no longer serves us, making room for new growth that is spiritually and personally fruitful. When relationships that once seemed integral to our lives come to an end, it can feel like a loss. But in the grander scheme of our spiritual journey, this is God's way of cutting away the unnecessary ties that might be holding us back. This process allows us to refocus our energies and affections on relationships and endeavors that align with our divine calling. It is about enhancing the quality of our spiritual lives by reducing the clutter that can distract us from God's deeper calling. Furthermore, this pruning process is critical for gaining a clearer vision of our spiritual landscape. Without the unnecessary branches clouding our view, we can see more clearly the direction in which God is leading us. This clarity comes with a renewed sense of purpose and a focused drive to pursue what is truly meaningful and ordained by God. Pruning also encourages a deeper introspection and reliance on God, teaching us to trust more fully in His providence and timing. It reinforces the truth that God knows what is best for us and is always working to cultivate in us the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. As painful as pruning may be, it is ultimately a gesture of divine love, intended to foster maturity and readiness for what is yet to unfold in our lives. By embracing this necessary pruning, we allow ourselves to thrive under God's careful cultivation, ensuring that we grow not just in faith, but in fruitful service to His kingdom. This spiritual grooming shapes us into vessels that are not only ready, but eager to take on the roles for which we were created, fully equipped and unencumbered by the past. Number 4, divine timing and readiness, trusting in God's perfect schedule. The unfolding of our lives according to divine timing is a central theme when God removes people from our paths. It is a reminder that every transition and departure is meticulously aligned with God's timing for our lives, orchestrated with precision even when it seems most untimely or difficult from our human perspective. Divine timing transcends our own understanding and plans. It is not bound by our schedules or desires, but is instead perfectly synchronized with a larger, divine plan for our spiritual growth and readiness. When someone exits our life, it may appear sudden or harsh, yet it coincides with God's preparedness to take us into a new phase of our journey that requires a different configuration of relationships and resources. This aspect of divine timing often challenges our patience and trust, as we must learn to surrender our control and lean not on our own understanding but on God's wisdom. It teaches us that God is not only the author of our faith, but also the master planner of our life's blueprint. Each person's entry and exit from our life are timed to maximize our growth and the fulfillment of our purpose. Moreover, embracing divine timing allows us to respond to changes with grace rather than resistance. It shifts our perspective from one of loss to one of expectancy, trusting that God removes individuals not to create voids, but to make space for something or someone that will enrich our next chapter. This readiness is not just about waiting for something to happen. It's about being prepared internally, spiritually, and emotionally to embrace the new opportunities that come with each transition. In recognizing that divine timing is perfect, we find peace amid change. This peace comes from understanding that every relational shift is a step towards fulfilling the destiny God has laid out for us. By trusting in God's timing, we are better positioned to move forward with confidence, assured that we are always exactly where we need to be according to His divine schedule. Number 5. Hope and future orientation, anchoring in God's promises. In the journey of faith, maintaining a hopeful and future-oriented mindset is essential, especially when navigating the often uncomfortable changes of God removing people from our lives. This final point underscores the importance of trusting in God's overarching plan, which is designed to lead us to greater effectiveness and alignment with our divine purpose. Hope in the Christian context is not merely wishful thinking, but a confident expectation of God's goodness and faithfulness. When we face the departure of someone significant in our lives, it is this hope that sustains us. Hope that God is working all things for our good, even when the current circumstances might suggest otherwise. This hope is not passive. It actively shapes our perspective, enabling us to look beyond the immediate pain of loss to the long-term benefits that such pruning can bring. Being future-oriented in our spiritual walk means we do not dwell excessively on the past or the comforts we once knew, but rather look forward to the new things God is doing in and through us. It involves believing that the best days are not behind us, but ahead of us, as we step into new roles, relationships, and opportunities that God has prepared. This forward-looking attitude helps us to embrace change not as an end, but as the beginning of something new and potentially more fulfilling. Moreover, this orientation towards hope and the future encourages us to remain flexible and open to God's guidance. It allows us to let go of our plans and to embrace God's, which are higher and more profound than anything we could devise. It helps us navigate transitions with a spirit of anticipation, eager to see how God will use these changes to deepen our faith and broaden our impact. Lastly, hope and future orientation foster resilience. They enable us to rebound from setbacks and to continue in our spiritual pursuit, knowing that God is in control and that His timing and plans are perfect. By maintaining a hopeful stance, we demonstrate our trust in God's promises, assured that He is always leading us towards a future filled with promise and potential. Thus, by holding on to hope and keeping our eyes set on the future God has for us, we not only navigate life's changes more effectively, but also grow in our faith and fulfillment of our God-given purpose.